Okay, so now I was looking at the mock drafts of the NBA because I wanted to see because it's another crap season for the Blazers.
Yes.
Although north of the crap from last year, so that's good.
Although,
but they will be in the lottery again.
Can you make the argument that last year was less crap because you were going to have a better pick than this year?
I mean,
so while the season itself, here's the thing.
Depends what you value.
Yeah, like the meat was more poo, but the bread was better. It's like the season had better highs, but the result still sucks in that you're not in, and yet you're going to end up with a worse player because you're going to have a worse draft pick.
So they're going to pick probably 9th?
Yeah, 9th or 10th, somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in there this year. This year.
Yeah.
It's in May, right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked through all the not all the mocks. I just, you Google NBA mock draft, and a billion of them come up because everybody does that now.
Yeah.
And I looked through the main ones. And I have listed on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 players that are attached to the Blazers. Con Knippel is not one of them.
Oh, because for a while there, Knippel was a guy that was linked. I saw the Trey Johnson kid from Texas. I've seen linked a couple times.
So I will give you the comp of each of these guys,
Okay.
and you tell me which guy or style of guy you would want.
Okay.
There is a guy who is compared to Jordan Poole.
No, I don't want Jordan Poole.
Well, it wouldn't be. It's just think style of game.
Yes.
So the other comp for this guy is Jamal Murray. So, and you would want that.
Kind of creates his own shot type of guy, probably.
Can we not draft an undersized guard? Whatever we do, just
so there's that.
If you're talking about that Jace Richardson kid from Michigan State, don't draft him because he's like 6'2" and he's a combo guard. Can we just stop? How many guards do you freaking need?
So they're attached to that guy. They're attached to a guy who comps as Austin Reeves.
All right.
They're attached to a guy who comps as Drew Gooden / David Lee.
All right. I'll take a front court player.
They're attached to a guy who comps as Nick Young.
Ooh.
They're attached to a guy who comps as Monte Ellis.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's good
I love
pizza.
Monte Ellis. We
Who
named a
doesn't
family
love
cat
him?
Monte
Dude,
Ellis.
Monte Ellis was good. At one point, they were debating between Monte Ellis and Steph Curry.
At one point, this producer was mad that they traded Monte Ellis and not Stephen Curry. Boy, was I wrong.
Hey, how many titles has Wayne Gretzky won, do you think?
Same as Curry, 4. I've learned this now.
Same guy
We've all grown.
who didn't know how many titles Wayne Gretzky won or that he'd even won a title.
That's the best. It's not that you didn't know how many
I thought he was
titles
at
Wayne
0,
won.
just-
You were convinced, dug in like me at the tape measure, that Wayne had won none.
Yeah, I think it was ingrained in me because after that whole
Kings.
30 for 30 where it was the King's ransom and all that, he never won one after
He
that
did not.
trade. And I think that's what I conflated with him just not winning one ever.
And
which
there's a
wasn't
guy who comps out as Zach Randolph.
I want Zach Randolph.
Yeah.
And
Give
you
me
know,
some Zebo.
I'm guessing you know who that guy is.
That's Derek Queen,
Yeah,
right?
because his game is very Zach Randolph-y.
Yeah, because he's kind of got that same sort of body where it's he's not
He's not he's not really athletic.
he's not an athlete, but he's
just
strong.
got moves.
Yes,
And he doesn't really jump.
I want Derek Queen. The other guy was the Newell kid. Is the other power forward. But I don't know if he's going to be around. That's the Georgia power forward.
So the Jordan Poole Jamal Murray comp
Mhm.
is Jeremiah Fears. He is a 6'4" point guard from Oklahoma.
Okay.
The Austin Reeves comp is Kasparis Jakachonis.
Yeah, I've seen that. and
Yakachonis?
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He's from Illinois. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
Now, he's a little taller and can handle the rock, and he can shoot.
He's
from
a bucket.
Yeah.
He's from Lithuania. He's an interesting prospect. The Drew Gooden David Lee comp is Asa Newell. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's a 6'11" power forward from Georgia. The Nick Young comp is Trey Johnson, the freshman from Texas, who is 6'6".
Yeah.
So he's a little taller, but he's a 2.
Yeah.
Jace Richardson is the Monte Ellis comp. He is the point guard from Michigan State who is only 6'3". And then Derek Queen is the kid from Maryland who is the comp to Zach Randolph. And he was the guy who said, give me the effing ball at to the coach at the end of the Colorado State game, and he hit the game-winning shot.
I'll tell you right now, of that, I'll take, if all things being equal, give me Derek Queen. 5-star kid, maybe a bit of a bonehead.
A lot of a bonehead.
But raw, freshman kid, ton of talent. Give me that kid.
I loved it. After his big game-winning shot, they asked, what makes you play so hard for your coach? And he goes, well, he do pay us.
That's right. Give me
That sounds like a Blazer.
Give me that kid.
Does that sound like a Blazer to you?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Magic Johnson.
No, I like the Illinois kid. I think that's an interesting player. You know, the funny thing about him was if you were following college basketball way back in like November, they were talking about him a lot.
Yeah.
And then Illinois had kind of a weird year because I think he got sick. A bunch of other guys got sick. There were some injuries, and they didn't really play all that well, and they kind of fizzled out. So you didn't hear as much about him. But if you watched Illinois, dude, he's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And he was only a freshman, and he's tall, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the 6'3", 6'4" guy that the Blazers keep
Well,
drafting.
there may be something too. And again, if he can play point,
He can.
then, maybe again, I just don't think there is a single player on your team that would preclude you from taking a position, right? So I don't care if that's Scoot. I don't care if it's Sharp. I don't care if it's Klingon. Whoever you think projects out in 3 years to be the best player, take him. All I'm saying is please stop drafting undersized guards. That's all. That's my one stipulation. Do not draft undersized guards.
So you consider this guy not undersized,
no,
right?
he's 6'6".
6'6".
So as long as he can play point guard, because I would assume right now when you look at the building blocks of the team, if you had to say you're ranking where you're going, like Denny is here. Did you know Denny's on a team friendly contract? Because no one will shut up about it. Denny's 1, right? I would assume Sharp 2, Kamara 3, right? Like if you're saying where you're going from here. And so given your druthers of where you're going to go, give me someone that can play one of those other positions. So Sharp is not a small guard. So that's your 2. So yeah, if you can draft another guard, if you can draft a point guard, bring Scoot off the bench, that's fine. Or just admit that you didn't hit a home run on it. You called him the generational player. We didn't. And I know it's only 2 years in, but I certainly don't see anything in there that's generational.
I'm gonna go to that lake.
So if you think the Lithuanian kid can come in and be your point guard of the future and give you a bigger backcourt where you run him and Sharp out there together, by all means, go with that.
Now he is white. I want you to.
Oh, well, Denny.
Because I know you hate.
No.
You hate the whites.
I hate slow-footed whites, which is why I don't want Con Knippel. That's my other stipulation. Can we just not draft the kid that's unathletic, that can't dunk in college, and that won't be able to guard anyone in the NBA or get his own shot off? Let's not do that. I would just prefer like front court because you look at it. Grant doesn't figure to be the long-term answer there. Klingon.
Why haven't they traded him yet?
I don't know. I think the contract is bad, and I don't know.
Nobody wants Jeremy Grant for a stretch run.
It certainly doesn't seem like it. At least.
He's
I
a
mean,
good
that's
player.
kind of what you
Well,
hear.
you can't now, right? There was
Well,
a
I
deadline.
don't know. I just mean like why haven't?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they should have traded him a long time ago.
That's
but-
kind of my thing. I don't know why they re-signed him in the first place, but anywho, that's the whole why are you bringing in veterans in. So if you remove Grant from it, I just think, and Klingon, whether or not that guy, like right now, he struggles to play 20 minutes a night. So to me, if you're looking at where you think you've got some depth, you got an ton of guards right now, assuming that Anthony Simons is going to be gone. You got a couple wings that you like in Denny and Kamara. And, Ayton doesn't figure long-term here, I would assume. Robert Williams can't stay healthy. No offense to Do Breathe. You think where you would like to go is give me someone that's 6'10" that you can throw at the 4 and the 5, which is why the Queen thing makes sense. But if you think this kid out of Lithuania, I'll never go wrong with big guards. If you think that guy is going to turn into something, by no means do I think Scoot has shown you anything in 2 years that leads you to believe that you can't draft a player at his position.